Hey lawn lovers, let's go do something different today. It's been 2.5 weeks since I mowed with the reel mower for the first time. I've been cutting it a little lower every week and it's at 1¼ inches now, and that's where I'd like to keep it for the summer. This part of my lawn is 70% perennial ryegrass and 30% Kentucky bluegrass. This is an awkward time for the lawn because the lawn has begun to seed and it's not used to being cut this low yet. There are a lot of seed stems in the lawn from it trying to seed, and I have exposed the old dead grass blades that haven't decomposed yet by mowing it so short. Here you can see the dead brown blades down in the green grass. Maybe you can see some of the seed stems as well. This is where the Scarifier comes in. It'll give the lawn a good raking and remove a lot of those old dead grass blades, and accelerate the transition back to a nice green lawn again. The Scarifier is not a dethatcher. A dethatcher has blades that cut laterally growing stolons, and grass types that produce stolons. Most cool season grasses like Kentucky bluegrass, perennial ryegrass, tall fescue, and fine fescue don't produce stolons. Creeping bentgrass is one cool season grass that does, but it's usually considered a weed in lawns. So if you have a cool season lawn, you don't have a thatch problem, but you may want to remove some of the dead grass if you have too much of it. In this case, I have too much long dead grass from when I was mowing the grass longer, and I just want to see if removing some of that dead grass will make my lawn look a little bit better for now. It's much more common for warm season grasses in the southern part of the US to produce stolons, and that's where I think many of us northerners get the idea that we are dethatching our lawns. In reality, we're just raking our lawns. If someone tells you that your cool season lawn needs to be dethatched, tell them that it just needs a good raking. Here's a look at what I'm getting out of there. I'm not getting as much brown grass as I wanted to. I can set the height of the Scarifier to be as aggressive as I want it to be. If I set it too low or aggressively, it'll remove more of the live grass than I want it to. The trick is to set it so that it's removing mostly dead grass and little green grass. I'm using the catcher to collect the dead grass, but normally I don't use the catcher for mowing. I'm using a Scarifier cartridge that just slips into my reel mower after I remove the cutting reel. All I need to do is unscrew a few bolts and slip off the belt to remove the blades. Then I reverse the process to install the Scarifier. It only takes a few minutes to do. If you don't have one of these, you can rent a machine from your local hardware store, or just use a hand rake. You can also just skip the whole process altogether and let nature decompose the old grass. You can help nature with that by using an organic lawn fertilizer to feed the microbes that do all of that work for you. In real time, if I don't forget something, I can get this done in about 4 minutes. The Scarifier will remove a lot of the dead grass, but the lawn may still look brown after using it because it'll stand up the rest of the dead grass as it rakes some of it out. The remaining brown grass will get pounded back down to the ground the next time it rains. It's best to do this job in late spring or fall, when grass is actively growing and is free from drought or other summer stresses. The Scarifier works pretty well for picking up acorns too, but it's a little too hard on the grass to do that every 3 days when the lawn needs mowing. I use the Scarifier on acorns once or twice a fall, and just use a leaf blower the rest of the time. The leaf blower goes pretty fast too, especially on this short grass. Thankfully, I only have to worry about part of one oak tree that overhangs my lawn. Here you can see what the removed grass looks like. There's quite a bit of green in there because I'm trying to get some of those seed stems out. The Scarifier didn't remove as many of the stems as I had hoped. They're pretty tough and won't give up until they're good and ready. I think I'm going to cut my lawn down to about 1 inch, and then let it grow back to 1 1/4 again. I want to see if I can try to hide some of those seed stems. Hey, don't miss the next video. I'll be taking care of some grass seed that grew in my landscaping. Until then, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and then ring the bell that pops up next to it. That way you won't miss the next video. Surely you can do it. Who's Shirley?